Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 212. That's right, 212 episodes now of the best bits of breakfast. And this is Mark Denholm from the Atom Radio Breakfast Show, which you can catch Monday to Friday, 6 until 10 on many platforms. I'll tell you how at the end. And on the way today, we have got swearing and why it may not be so bad after all. We've got a man with strange fashion sense. We've also got glasses-related weather problems and phobias. Where do they come from? Who studies them and who gets to name them? We discuss what women do differently to men. We discuss working out why it may not be so good after all. We discuss studies. We have essential life skills as well.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Morning, 6:13. It's Mark Denholm at breakfast on Atom Radio. Welcome to Monday. If you swear a lot, by the way, you have good reason. People who tend to swear a lot are generally more honest, upfront and loyal with their friends, partners and family. So therefore, if you are someone that swears a lot, maybe it's not so bad after all.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
We're talking about something I spotted at the weekend. Richard and I went out suit shopping on Saturday, and driving to Camberley, we picked up a car. A couple of cars in front of us pulled out a roundabout in Ascot, and the man was driving with a Christmas tree on his roof. And my first thought was, there's no roof rack on there, and he's just got the tree bungee corded to his roof. Imagine the damage this is doing to the paint. But anyway, we managed to catch up with him a couple of roundabouts further along the road, and we were in the other lane to him because we were going one way, he was going the other, and as he pulled off, he was looking up into the sunroof just to check that his Christmas tree was still there. I want to know today, though, what has been the oddest thing that you have seen whilst out and about of recent? On air at atomradio.co.uk. On any given day, get you in touch with the show, and we'll start with Carly. Carly says, I was out shopping on Saturday in Primark, and I saw a man who had two odd trainers on. One was a Nike and one was an Adidas, and you would have thought he would have noticed the difference. Well, you would, wouldn't you? I remember, though, Carly, back maybe late noughties, it was the fashion, wasn't it, to wear one black trainer and one white trainer. So you bought two pairs of identical trainers, except one was black and one was white, and people used to wear them. And before I knew it was the fashion, I used to think, hang on a minute, surely you'd have noticed that. But then somebody told me it was done on purpose. But no, I'm imagining, Carly, what you're saying here is either two white trainers, one Nike and one Adidas, or two black trainers, one Nike and one Adidas. And yes, I'm with you. You would imagine he would have noticed. I'm laughing at James's here. James says, I did see a man once who'd obviously been to a garden centre and bought quite a large potted tree. I assume it was potted because it was poking up through the panoramic roof of his car until he drove under a low bridge which had one of those metal things before you get into the bridge, which clean snapped off his tree in half. I'm just imagining now, you go out, and they're not cheap, are they, buying trees and that? Like established trees, as they call them in the gardening world. They're not cheap in any way whatsoever. And he's driven along and snapped his tree. Oh no, what a disaster. The number of times, though, I've seen people hit the bridge at Station Road, Sippen and Burnham area. A number of times I've seen that. I've never seen anybody hit it yet, though, with a tree poking out their panoramic roof. I've seen somebody destroy their bike, though, before, hitting it with their bike, but never, ever with a tree. Thank you for your email, James. Have a lush Monday.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
You know, yesterday, in the weather, occasional showers, it said, and I thought I'm going to pop out to the shop yesterday, go get something I needed, and I popped out and it was bright sunshine. I parked my car, and when I came out, it was absolutely chucking down. I don't know where that came from. I wouldn't really call it a shower. It was a downpour, a deluge yesterday. And the annoying thing about wearing glasses is if your eyes get wet, you can just rub them and they're perfectly clear. If your glasses get wet, I never ever carry a suitable cloth, and therefore for me, it's an absolute nightmare if my glasses get wet. You'd think by now, when did I start wearing glasses? 2000 and may have been 2018, I think. Or it might even have been 2017, I don't know. But it's been a little while now anyway that I've been wearing glasses. You think by now I'd learn, wouldn't you, to carry a suitable cloth with me. But no, I still don't. And therefore, when it rains, I end up getting back in the car and I think, all right, now I can't see because my glasses are all smudgy and all there. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
7:25 morning then, Mark Denham on Atom Radio. Welcome to Tuesday. I discovered yesterday nomophobia is the fear of being without a mobile phone or the fear of your phone losing signal. Now, I mean, who has recognised this as one of these official fears? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure quite what this is all about. But in 2009, this phrase was coined. Somebody actually investigated this and came up with a phrase for it. Nomophobia comes from no mobile phone phobia. And it's been shortened to nomophobia. And it's the fear of being without a mobile phone, or indeed being without your mobile phone having signal. So that's it. It's one or the other. Fear of not having your mobile phone, or also fear of your mobile phone losing signal. Negaholics are people who become addicted to self-doubt and negativity. They find the bad in most things and are hardly ever satisfied. Now, where do people come up with all these from? I honestly don't know where they all come from, if I'm honest. Like nomophobia was coined in 2009, but I mean, it couldn't have been around 40 years ago because we didn't have mobile phones, and yet now it's a thing. Negaholics are people who become addicted even to self-doubt. I can't even say it, never mind explain it. But where have they all come from? Who studies these and who decides that's an official phobia? And it's not just somebody being silly.
Mark Denham at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
The top 5 today of things one day ahead of International Women's Day that women do differently to men stacks up like this. At 5, an ability to spend an absolute age on the phone for a nothing phone call. At 4, wrapping presents. At 3, the standard of housework. A man's standard never quite matches up to a woman's standard. At 2, think differently, think more logically, and think more carefully about things. And the thing that makes the top of the list today of things that women do differently to men one day ahead of International Women's Day, they go to the toilet in pairs.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.
If you're off to the gym this morning, treadmills were created to punish English prisoners in 1818. There we are. Now, what on earth were bikes invented for?
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.
7:23, streaming from Slough and Loud across the net. This is Mark Denham at breakfast on Atom Radio. A German study shows that staring at women's breasts for 10 minutes a day is better for your health than going to the gym. No wonder that wasn't released yesterday on International Women's Day, if I'm honest. A different study has concluded that friends with benefit relationships are just as sexually satisfying as marital relationships. I can imagine probably more so, because in a marriage you get the bicker, which you don't in a friends with benefits relationship.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.
Kate and William taught to make origami birds during a visit to a Quake fundraiser. I'm not going to knock the Quake fundraiser, but origami birds, I mean, that's a life skill you can't be without. Surely.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
If you are in love and you're looking forward to Valentine's Day, which we've already had this year, but there will be another one next year, Valentine's Day 2046 could be ruined by an asteroid the size of a swimming pool. Oh dear. Don't worry though, it's much smaller than the one that killed off the dinosaurs. Well, I mean, that's good then, isn't it? Valentine's Day 2046. Yeah, I don't even know I'll still be here for that. Quite a way away, that is. 23 more years, I don't know.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.
I've worked it out now. If I survive 23 years to Valentine's Day 2046, I've got 23 years to practice making origami birds. Such an essential life skill, that, and I don't know how I've got this far in life without being able to do it, but that's my goal now for 2046, is to be able to gift somebody an origami bird for Valentine's Day. I don't know why nobody's ever thought of that before, if I'm honest. Thank you, as always, for checking out this week's podcast. It's an honour to have your ears listening to what it is that we say on this humble show. Thank you very much. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, subscribe, whether you're in your favourite podcast host or listening to the YouTube version, hit the subscribe button. And don't forget you can listen live Monday to Friday between 6 and 10 on atomradio.co.uk, on the online Radio Box app, on the TuneIn app. Indeed, if you have a smart speaker, even not a smart one, you can say play Atom Radio on TuneIn and you will get to listen Monday to Friday, 6 until 10. As I say, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you so much for your company today.
Mark Denham.
At Breakfast Podcast.